Okay, today I'm going to talk about wrapping your Christmas gifts. Years ago, probably 5 years ago, I used to be what I would consider a pretty run-of-the-mill gift wrapper. I would just use any old paper. I usually try to match all my paper, but then people bring gifts in from other places, and that's great. But it never ended up matching, and I would get all depressed because I like things to be all the same or really uniform or really symmetrical. I'm just one of those people. But anyway, what I would use back then, way back then, was stuff like this. This was my bows of choice. Just these plain bows that everybody used in the 70s and the 60s and the 80s. And this was my really branching out where I take curly ribbon and put it around the gift and then put a big bow like this on the top. And I think that's really cute too. But I met this woman probably about 5 years ago. She was just one of those people that inspires. You meet her, you're inspired. All over the map, I was inspired in all different kind of ways by her. And one of the ways was I was helping her decorate for a play and stuff, and I would go to her house, and so beautiful. She would decorate with layers and layers and layers and layers. Now, I couldn't do that at my house, but when you're in a place like that, pay attention, and you can pull so many great ideas, and you can incorporate it on a smaller scale in your own house. Like one of the things that she did that I thought was so beautiful. She had this big bathtub in the master bathroom. Like she had a separate tub and shower. Well, in the bathroom, around the bathtub, now I was going to do this. I was all ready to do this when I got home, and my husband looked at me and said, no way. What she did was she took sheer curtain, like shears, and she brought them down around her bathtub like this and then down the sides. And I don't think she ever uses her bathtub. Otherwise, this would be super dangerous. But she had twinkle lights all around the back of it. Like she had, like it was a garden tub with a shelf around it. She had twinkle lights all around the back and ivy all woven into the lights and big candlesticks and rose petals in the tub. Let me just tell you, I don't think she uses that tub, but it looked beautiful. Now, we use ours all the time, so that wouldn't work for me. But anyway, what I'm saying is that inspiration everywhere in her house. Okay. Then I was helping her decorate a giant Christmas tree, a bunch of us, not just me and her, in the foyer of our church. We have the biggest foyer with the tallest ceiling you've ever seen. We had this giant tree, but still it was dwarfed in that room. But it looked pretty. And she taught me, I just watched her, and she would just make these bows in 3 seconds, and she would take stuff like this, and bigger. Everything was huge. And stick it in this giant tree. And I was so inspired watching her. Oh my gosh. But all I kept thinking was, oh, I could never afford to decorate like that because it just looked so expensive. Well, then I was they stuck me in a corner at some point, and I was wrapping empty boxes to have baked presents under this big tree. So I would wrap, and then she would take it, and she would take ribbon and make big bows and just make the gifts look gorgeous. I mean, killer gorgeous. Well, I was watching her and everything. I was just drooling because I just knew I couldn't afford to even wrap presents like that. And she told me, oh, this ribbon's cheap. Well, what was her idea of cheap? My idea of cheap. Well, anyway, she said, you just go to these craft stores, and when they have the ribbon on sale, you buy it. So I thought, I'm doing it. I'm going to at least go check the prices. So remember, I went to Old Time Pottery, which is kind of like in Texas, we had Garden Ridge Pottery, which was much bigger, but this is kind of a store like that just has a lot of floral stuff, a lot of trees, decorations, crafty stuff, those kinds of stores. And I went in, sure enough, they had the most gorgeous ribbon, $3.99 a bolt. Now, these weren't very big rolls, but it was like on sale, I think, for 50%. Let me show you an example. Look at this ribbon. How gorgeous is this? It's got little squirrels on it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just little squirrels. Now, every kind of ribbon I bought has just a little bit of wire on the edges. Makes the whole process easier. So I bought this ribbon. I bought, this one's got pine cones on it and red stuff. See the pine cones? I mean, really, to me, this looks upscale. I bought just some plain I bought just gold, red, all different kinds. Plaid to go with. I was doing, that year I did a lot of brown paper wrapping and I put this kind of country plaid on it. Okay, here's my story. So I bought some ribbon and I used it that year. Also, in the middle of the big bow, she would stick these. Okay, these aren't cheap exactly, but I've had this 5 years. I put this on a present for my husband so that I make sure I get it back when he opens it, okay? And I keep using it over and over. And this was actually my mom's. It's even got a built-in clip. I think she put it on one of our packages last year because I just found it and I don't think I bought this. But anyway, how gorgeous, how pretty. Been using it for years. This one, just a little bit of berries in the middle. You take the ribbon and you make a big bow and then you stick that in the middle. How gorgeous, how pretty, okay? Now, when I say make a bow, you can make the bow. Now, I'm sure that there's YouTube how to make a bow videos if you're interested. But this is what I've started doing. I used to try to make the bows that are like 6 loops. And when I have a lot of free time, I'll probably make a couple of those this year. But here's a present. My husband has already bought all my Christmas gifts and wrapped them up and everything. So he wraps them and then he tells me to bow them. So last night I went in there and I put this gorgeous ribbon on here. And this is just a tag, but how pretty is that? And this ribbon I've had forever. I'm telling you, 5 years. Had it. Okay, here's another one. Sometimes I just tie a knot and let the ribbon flow across down the sides like that. And it's got a little tag on it. How pretty is that? So what I'm saying is it's really, really not that hard to do and not that expensive. So here's what I do at the end of every Christmas. Now you're going to think you've lost your mind, but I'm being a little bit frugal here. I'm being way frugal here. Christmas morning, this depends on your situation, but for me, on Christmas morning, everyone's opening, throwing paper, throwing ribbons, tags, everything. When it's time to clean up, I hand my husband a shopping bag, you know, and he fills it with every piece of, and I tell him, don't throw the ribbon away, every piece of ribbon in the room. I offer it to my daughter. I offer it to my mother. They usually say, I don't want it. I don't want it. I take it home. Now, here is my shoe box. Now, I just took a bunch of it out, but here's my shoe box. See, now let me take out the ones I pulled. See, all this is just full of ribbon that I've saved year after year. And you just stick it in there. It stays very, very nice. And then when you're ready to use it, you undo it. And let me tell you, it goes right around the package and makes another bow very, very beautifully. So I saved these. Here, oh gosh, my dog scared me to death. Here's another big thing of rolled up ribbon. Now, the ribbon I get at Costco, a lot of it, if I don't get it at Garden Ridge or whatever, and it comes like this. Now, this was a little more. Maybe this was $10, but look how much. It's 50 yards of ribbon. It's a lot. Okay, so last night I had my shoebox of ribbon, and my husband brought down another sack. He goes, I don't even know what this is. Sure enough, inside the sack was all the ribbons. Ginger! All the ribbons from last year, still in a bow, still with the tag. So while he was watching football, I sat right there next to him, and I untied and rolled every single ribbon back up so that I can have it ready for this year. Now, tags. Cutest tags ever are at Costco. I just bought a new box of tags. They may not look that cute here, but when you get them out, they like pop out. They're 3D. They're multi-layered. They're absolutely, I mean, they're so cute. They're so cute. Look at this man with the martini. Totally. They're just adorable. Here's Snoopy and Woodstock. I don't know if you can tell that they're layered, but they're just beautiful. And this this box of 60 tags was, I think, $8. Well, then I got home because I told my husband, oh, I need new tags. This is before I found the bag. Here are tags from last year. Same exact, not the same tags, but the same 3D tags that I got at Costco last year. Now, this says to Luke from Gigi and Poppy. I'm Gigi, my husband's Poppy. Luke is our grandson. I can totally reuse this tag this year. I can just flip through here because I have them all turned the same way and flip and look at the back of them until I find, oh, here's to Scott from Terry. I will put this on my husband's gift this year. So here I have at least probably 60 tags in this basket ready to go, but I have my new ones, so I'm going to use those too. Okay, what I'm saying is I've reused everything for the past 3, 4, 5 years. It's great, it's wonderful, it's a one-time investment. Now, I will probably add ribbon to this as I go. Now, not this year, probably not next year, because I saw another box. I have like 4 more spools of ribbon that I've never even opened. So I'm ready to go. Now, as far as wrapping, to me, there's nothing worse than a Christmas Eve wrapping marathon. Believe me, I've done it. My husband and I do it. We get in a big fight because we're frustrated, we're tired, we don't want to be in there wrapping presents on Christmas Eve. Blech. So anyway, what I started doing last year is I have a card table. Actually, it's my mother's, but she said if I store it, I can use it as much as I want, and if she needs it, I just take it to her. I set up a card table in my bedroom. I have like a sitting area in my bedroom, and I set up the card table, and on it is tape, ribbon, scissors, a lot of Sharpies. My tags are in the basket. My ribbons are in the shoebox. All my paper is underneath the card table, and I leave it set up like that for a month. Whenever I come in with 3 or 4 gifts, if I've been shopping, I'll try to wrap them within a couple of days and put them right under the tree. Then I don't have to hide presents because they're wrapped, and I don't have such a mess all the time getting wrapping paper in and out, in and out. So I keep my station set up. Now, when I do have a lot to wrap, which always piles up on me at some point or another, I try to make it nice. I light a Christmas candle. I got this idea from Tracy Porter. Light a Christmas candle, put on your favorite Christmas music, get a beverage of your choice, a glass of wine, a cup of coffee, some hot tea, whatever, and just sit there and just have all your beautiful things laid out. And it's just fun. It's fun to do it in an orderly fashion, and I don't know. I think that's all I have to say about that. Wrapping beautiful packages is not as expensive as you might think. Oh, let me see how that little... Oh, I lost it. Anyway, I was going to stick one of those things. Here it is. Like, this may not match. But you know, so you stuck this in there too. Look at that. How gorgeous. And all I did was stick it. Now I'd have to wrap it around, but how pretty is that? You know? And even this one. I don't know what the black and white about that, but no, that doesn't look good. But anyway, look how pretty. So anyway, go to the store, get you some inexpensive extra little goodies, and make your packages really, really beautiful. Thanks. See you later. Bye-bye.